And we're back with the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. This is our Scary Christmas show, where we are featuring movies that have to do with Christmas that are a little bit scary, a little bit on edge, a little bit frightening. We've already taken care of The Nightmare Before Christmas, also Gremlins, and we're going to finish up with the brand new feature that's in theaters right now. It's called Krampus. And this movie is based on, I guess, an old folk story back from the day. I believe it's either an Austrian or a German
like that,
folk tale. Obviously, you have the good, which is St. Nicholas. Mm-hmm. He comes to your house and gives you presents and stuff like that if you're good. But then there's every coin's got another side. And the other side is Krampus, which is like the total opposite of St. Nicholas, a very evil kind of spirit or being that takes you to not the good place you want to go.
From what I gathered, it's the shadow of St. Nicholas, and I guess that was their way of saying it's the opposite.
Right.
But he comes to grant you your wish, if your wish is to be, materialistic and unloving and unkind and, Scrooge-ish,
right.
I guess. But usually it happens when kids make a wish, when their little Christmas hearts get broken.
And that's what happens in this particular film. Yeah. It's set in present day. It's actually the first scene is something out of a Black Friday kind of scene where everybody is pushing and shoving and definitely not in the Christmas spirit. Nope. Everybody's fighting.
Trampling each other. And oh, man, it was crazy.
It was definitely crazy. So you have this family. They live in pretty much anywhere USA. And they're inviting their family over for Christmas. Well, the family they're inviting over is right
out of National Lampoon, man.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. Just total opposite of what they are. And you got this little boy who's the main, I guess, cog in the story, who still has that Christmas spirit, that Christmas kind of vision, and he kind of loses it with this particular story. His parents are fighting. His parents aren't getting along. His cousins are
terrorizing him.
His sister isn't really helping him. She's like a teenager. She's off in her own world.
More worried about where her boyfriend is, and
so he seems all alone, and he kind of gives up on Santa Claus and Christmas and all of that, and that's how the evil spirits come into this particular film.
And it starts with him tearing up his letter to Santa.
So, with all of that said, you and I went and saw this film, and I think our expectations were pretty low with this particular film. With that being said, what were your thoughts?
For a horror fanatic like myself, I love the genre, and I love surprises. And I have to say, this movie surprised me because, again, my expectations were pretty low. And I thought that it did a real good job of revisiting the type of horror movies that I grew up with. More of the, 80s, early 90s version of horror.
Yeah.
And, it was right out of the puppets movies,
Puppet
Master and that kind of stuff. Like, you just had these stop animation or these animated toys that are the minions of Krampus, and that's the unexpected surprise. Not that I'm trying to give anything away here, but it's part. You can see part of it in the trailer, I think. So, but Krampus himself is just whoa.
You don't really see him to the very end,
right? You don't really see him to the end, and there's no CGI there. I don't think. It's like they
maybe
did
a little. I think
they did a lot of the old school makeup, and the trolls are the elves, or whatever, and it's just there's a whole menagerie of quite extensive imagination of how horrific Christmas could be if we went back to the days of telling our kids nightmares to make them be good. And this is definitely one of them. I wouldn't take my kids to see this movie.
Right.
And I would always say, if you've got a really rotten one, maybe. But, it's not a story that I'm familiar with. And I makes me want to get my old Christmas book out that has all of the Christmas around the world stories and how they celebrate and the things that brought up through the years, the different types of celebrations that the countries have and stuff. And I don't remember Krampus being one of them. So I don't know if it's true, if it's a true urban legend from Germany or Austria or wherever, but I just thought it was really imaginative. And I'm sorry, I laughed so hard during this movie at you.
Hold on, did you find it scary? Did you find it scary?
No, not like you did.
You don't know me.
I thought it was fun, and it had some really grossness to it as far as like just the toys. The animated toys were probably the worst part of it and the scariest part of it, but it's nothing like today's horror.
Right.
So it's not, you can't compare it to anything. And that's what's hard about this movie. Not anything modern anyway. Chris Berger, you have to confess.
I don't have to confess anything. I'm the leader of this show. I can stop it right now if I wanted to.
Chris
I could
Berger,
say goodbye.
You were the
We're
biggest
done.
naysayer of this movie. This is going to be awful. It's
Because
gonna be horrible.
It was rated PG-13. And, that's not really... rated PG-13 is for kids. It's for teenagers. It's not going to be scary.
Until you see something that you are truly afraid of. And what are you truly afraid of, Chris?
My mother?
Besides her.
I'm scared of dolls that come to life and talk and kill you and things of that nature.
And this has all of the above.
Right. But I wasn't shivering.
No, you were hiding under my armpit.
You don't know me. I was trying to get.
I could show you. I wish you had the camera on it right now. We were video recording this one because I would show you everybody how much you hid away and how long it took. That was the other thing. This didn't just happen like once or two glimpses. This was like full on 30 minutes of the show where these things are just going after this family. The resolution of the movie, wow. I called it just before it happened.
You did. You called the very, very end scene. You did. So I think you've already kind of answered this, but I want to definitely get your point out there. Folks who like scary movies of today, are they going to find this movie scary?
I don't think they're going to find it scary.
Okay, I agree.
I think it's entertaining.
Should they go to the theater to see it, or should they wait?
I think the perfect time to show this movie is an ugly sweater party.
Right.
Where they're having adult beverages and people of a mature level get to sacrifice those with an immature level of personality. And I think it's more of a I could honestly see people making this one of those traditional, we got to put Krampus in because we got to make fun of it and have a good time. And you don't have to be so absorbed by the movie to be entertained by it.
I agree. All right, before we go, out of a 5-star rating, what would you rate this film?
About a 3.
I'd give it about a 2.5. So we're kind of close. Definitely kind of close. All right, Sabrina, thank you for being on this particular segment of the Screen Team. I love you as always. You're going to be back for a couple segments next week. Mm-hmm. It's our last show of 2015, and I'm excited about it, especially the last one we're going to do. We're going to be doing a Christmas film, a classic called The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant. We're also going to be doing Entourage, which is one of my favorite TV shows they made into a movie over the summer. We'll talk about that one. But all those movies aside, we're going to be talking about the greatest movie of all time, which is coming out. It's Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I've been waiting for 30 plus years for this film.
And you're already calling it the greatest film of all time.
It's going to be. Why would you doubt that?
I don't know why.
Why? Because you watched the prequels? Is that why?
No, I just know. I think it's a lot of hype.
You don't know me. All right. It's all coming your way next Saturday at 6 p.m. For Tracy, Sabrina, and Chris, we are the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC.